heat up the sewage and heat up the ammonia. And, but then eventually it starts going septic because you're not adding air. So that's why in an intermittent sand filter you have to what they call rest the filter. So you flood another filter and you let the intermittent sand filter intermittently rest, which allows air to percolate into the media and oxygenate the bacteria again, and then you flood it again, 2-3 days later. What the advantage of the Sager system, and that's how they modified it, is they said, well, if we bubble air through the same filter, now we don't have to make it intermittent, we can do it on a continual basis. So it's the same concept as an intermittent sand filter, and there's intermittent sand filters all over Ontario, getting excellent results. So this is just a sort of a mechanical modification to the intermittent sand filter concept. So we do get a lot, great results with the intermittent sand filters, and all this is just mechanically adding air to it. So less property, because now you don't need to build multiple filters, because one filter does everything what normally an intermittent sand filter, you need 3 of them, because you'd be flooding them every day. You flood a different filter. Now it can just continually flood one filter.
And the trade-off is that you get a smaller footprint, but it does cost you. They're more expensive because you got to pay for the engineering and the aeration system and the piping and all that kind of stuff.
Blowers,
yeah,
blower building.
So it's it's one of those trade-offs of use mechanical to your advantage, but it's going to cost you something.
If you got property, then intermittent sand filters work. If you don't have the property, you can. Sager system has a much smaller footprint.
What I call the hybrid air-raid lagoon was the next option. And basically what it is we're going to take one lagoon cell and we're going to put aerators in it. Excuse me, we're still going to build the secondary clarifiers, tertiary filter, like all that, the front end stuff and the back end stuff will still be constructed and built similar to the way it was going to be, but you're using the existing lagoons as a tank. So you're just not, instead of using concrete, building a concrete orbital tank, you're going to say, well, I'm going to use the existing lagoon because it's already there, and I'm going to put my aerators in that and see what kind, see if we can save some money from doing that. And again, that one, like all those other options, would still have equalization to kind of keep everything right sized as you can make it. The advantage is that it has a moderate cost. Again, it's probably more expensive than the area lagoon Sager filters, but not as expensive as the full plant design. It does produce sludge. You still get a good level of treatment. It has, I think that's confusing, lower operating costs and then higher operating costs. It does have higher operating costs in the area lagoon. It has lower operating costs than the orbital system because the tank is a little bit smaller. You do have less process control. That's the trade-off. So it's not going to be as good a treatment as the orbital, but it'll still be decent amount of treatment. But because you lose the process control, you don't have the same level of treatment. There's a fairly big one in Lindsay, which is about 25,000 population. It's kind of designed this way. They had the existing lagoons, upgrade the plant, use the existing lagoons for equalization storage, and as well part of for an aeration tank, and then built clarifiers and filters. So our evaluation to date, I'm sure you can read that, but and I'm just being facetious, but this is kind of, we've started to evaluate all of the options in terms of what they will do. I don't want to go through this this morning unless you want me to, but I also started to rank the, and I don't have costs. When you come down here, it's got like, my costing goes from 0 to 5. Well, what I wanted to do was give a flavor of sort of what was the most expensive and what was the least expensive, rather than give you a hard number at this date, because we haven't really our evaluation, but at least I give you the idea, so you've got an idea of what's most expensive, what's least expensive. We also looked at, again, minimum flows that they can handle, because that's going to be a problem in the middle of winter. And then, can we meet our applicable criteria that fits in the environmental study report and the pre-design, which you've negotiated with the ministry. It also has to be accepted by the ministry. And then again, the common question was asked to meet that Schedule 5 mechanical tertiary. So we do have, I did kind of have that in here, the level of treatment, kind of get to there. And then how do we manage the peak flows? And then again, sludge, I think sludge is a problem, or it's not a problem, sorry, sludge is something you've got to look at, because it's you're going to make it depending on the process, you're going to make it and have to deal with it every day of that plant's life, or there's other options that reduce the amount of time the operators have to spend to deal with sludging. And sludges can be expensive if if you've got to, dewater it, haul it to land, put it on land, make sure you don't have the public jumping all over your throats because you're landfilling that, or land spreading, that kind of thing. So that was our evaluation table. Some of the options, I had construction time, some of them, will take longer to build than others, like if we're pouring lots of concrete, putting lots of piping, that's going to take a lot longer than some of the lower tack maybe, or maybe the wrong word, but some of the options that don't require as much piping, such as the aerated lagoons, that's the construction time for that will be reduced. This is again all very preliminary, and it will get fleshed out and form the basis of our recommendation and our evaluation of the different processes.
I guess this is just to give you an idea of what the evaluation process is looking like, not for you to sort of go through and start analyzing, because at this point it's very preliminary. It's just going to sort of give you an example of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. In terms of our schedule, our schedule was I guess accelerated by the letter from the BCF folks. We were really looking probably to have to be done, I guess, towards the end of September. But now we sort of back that up so that the board can meet the BCF's response or timeline. So what that did is that drives us to having to get a draft evaluation to the working group by middle of July, and then meet with the working group, go through that draft evaluation, make any tweaks and fine tuning that needs to be done, and then have our final report for August 1st, and then a presentation to this board on August 3rd, and then of that report, and then I guess, and then a recommendation from the working group to the board by September 1st. So we really kind of want to present our report to the board, then have the working group make a formal recommendation, and then the board sort of ratify that recommendation so that a letter can be written back to BCF by September 13th, because the deadline for them is 14th. So that's really what we're working towards, to kind of get a report done in time to allow the working group to review it and comment on it, and get it to where they think it needs to go, and then get it to you guys as a management board, so that you can look at it and be comfortable with the recommendation, so that then we can make a response back to the BCF folks. And basically that's my presentation, and I'm quite happy to take any questions, have any discussions.